Look, man. First of all, we were talking about this before we came, and before we started the interview, and yeah, we were already going back and forth about this one. Jim Jones thinks he's better than Nas, bro. I know this is a
Cap.
Right, Cap. Thank you. A little bit close to home. Recipes take off. Because you were close to. Those are your people, right?
Yeah, I love Jim.
Dipset, right?
I think Jim is a
And no disrespect to him as a human, but he's not better than Nas.
Right, I agree.
At all.
But
it's not even close.
Here's what we was talking about.
He's
I
not
guess
even,
first and foremost, what's your take?
Crazy.
y'all give y'all take, and then
he's not even the best in Dipset. He's not beating Cam.
Okay.
How are you gonna say you're better than Nas?
Or Jewels.
Right.
Either.
Okay. Right.
Right.
At all, dog.
Y'all keep spitting, and then I'm gonna come in and say what I say. What else? What else we got on your fucking show? What else we talking about? Because okay, so let me be clear. He said he was better than Nas in what capacity?
He said, "Look at the numbers." He was like telling them to look at. He was like,
he said, "Look at the charts."
Look at the
He retract that statement though. He said he
did.
Boo-boo.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still, it's
So-
like, yo.
Let me read some of these. Let me read some of these. The comments on the article. Okay, Mr. Jones, I've gone ahead and done just that. Check the charts.
Lord Jamar.
Nas has had 27 songs chart on Hot 100 with 2 top 10 hits and 26 chart on Hot Rap songs with 11 top 10 hits and 2 number ones. Right? Jim Jones has had 2 songs on the Hot 100. The last one was in 2009 and 1 top 10 hit with 0 number ones.
Yeah, he didn't hit number 1.
Right?
I think the highest he got was like 5.
Right. You've got 3 songs with 2 top 10 hits and not a single number 1. Nas has beat you in every category, yet this is a quote from the article, yet it's your bum ass who brought this up to begin with. No one gives a fuck about your failed chart performance except for you.
I don't think Jim brought it up, though, so I want to be clear on that. I don't think Jim just came out and said, yo, I'm better than Nas. Someone set him up for that.
Someone said, yo, you think you're better than Nas? And he said, yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy should say that.
But I also think, like, you watch a sports interview, and a sports interview is like, you know, take, I don't know if y'all watch football, but take Shador Sanders, for example, right? He went to the Browns. The Browns, they have a quarterback situation. They're competing for quarterback, right? When they interviewed the existing quarterback right now, he don't say, I'm shitting on Shador Sanders. He ain't got a chance of being in this spot. I'm taking it from him. I'm the best. He says, hey, look, he says he's a great athlete. He's great. He's got a lot of talent. I'm excited to be working with him. I'm happy that he's on the team. He's bringing a lot of value to the squad. Like, he brings a lot of benefit to our team, right? He didn't say, oh, fuck that motherfucker, I'm way better. Okay. You know what I'm saying? There's another way you could have handled. It's another way you could have handled it, right? Right. It's another way, like dropping fake money on the stage. Like, get out of here, bro.
So
it was real money, but faking dropping money on the stage and pretending like you didn't mean to do it. So that's some bullshit.
Me and my wife have been having this debate all week, so I'm gonna have it with y'all. And again, y'all can say I'm on a spaceship, tell me I'm not. I don't really give a fuck. But here's my angle on it. Nas is highly regarded as the greatest MC to touch a mic, period. We're talking about, he wrote Illmatic at 18, bro. Mm-hmm. That album is still crazy today when you listen to it, right? And Nas has had such an incredible journey to the point where he solidified legendary status, no question. Now, if I'm going to sit here and say Jim Jones versus Nas,
That's not a versus I'm trying to
It's not a
watch.
versus that
Right.
I'm gonna even entertain because Nas gonna blow him out the water. That's just the fact. However, the narrative on this situation that I'm upset with is that these commenters and these people's in the comments, and maybe y'all have this sentiment, do not discredit Jim Jones's impact on this game.
I'm not never gonna say that.
And because Jim is at this stage of his career where he's outside, he's competing with the young guys,
Yeah.
he's helping the young guys, but he's also the only one from his era actively putting out music.
Yeah.
Let's not forget,
Banks
Jim
is-
started this independent game on the East Coast.
Yeah.
He learned it from the South. He adopted it.
Yeah.
One of the biggest guys on Koch.
He had a huge
a-
impact on Coney Island.
Stop this.
You know, I mean, shit, dog. We all know that.
That's
We all know that.
Jim independent. Like, everybody after Jim followed suit on being independent. He was the
Okay.
first guy to do it. I'm talking selling them the mixtapes out the trunk type thing like the Down South cats was doing. He made that a New York thing because New York didn't know what to do. Look at that on a fashion level. This guy's super, super, super influential on the fashion side.
He's always in a fucking wife beater with his braids all
Nah,
brushed
bro.
out.
I don't think you realize when Jim came in the game, when Dipset came in the game, everybody wanted to dress like them. Everybody had that fashion sense. Then it became, who made Ed Hardy hot? Jim Jones.
That's not saying. That's
I'm just saying, who made Ed Hardy
Thank
hot?
you.
Jim Jones.
you rocking Ed Hardy.
No, I never rocked it.
Stop.
I wasn't
Right.
into that biker shit. But I'm just trying to tell y'all, take your bias out of it and realize that Jim needs to be put.
You talk from a different perspective because you're from out there, bro. You spent time out there. You're like everybody was influenced. I fucking wasn't.
All right.
I didn't want to dress like
I
no
was gonna say-
motherfucking
I was gonna say,
Jim Jones, bro. What the fuck?
Take knowing people out. Take being from where people are from.
I am because
Put
let me-
yourself in a New Mexico cat.
I
Who are
can't.
you influenced more by?
What, a fucking Baby Bash?
Chill out, bro.
Okay.
A fucking Frankie J? Get
That's
the fuck
yeah,
out
that's
of here.
crazy.
Let me tell you something.
That's wild.
Jim
Thank
Jones.
you, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm
What'd he
not-
say?
He,
That's wild.
He said that's wild, bro.
That's wild.
Frankie J, you're tripping,
No,
bro.
I'm saying, look,
Baby
no
Bash.
disrespect to Baby Bash, Frankie J, but what I'm trying to paint the picture for y'all is that I'm not saying Jim is better than Nas. I never say that.
Okay.
But people shouldn't be coming at Jim acting like he ain't got no accolades. Because at the end of the day, Jim is, in my eyes, in the last 20, 25 years being an artist, he's been super influential, Doug.
Baby Bash
But-
had
but
more
it's
hits
who-
than Jim Jones.
Thank you. Yeah, for real, dog. Yeah.
But what are we really
but
talking about?
it's
See,
the
that's
name.
why I think this conversation becomes a slippery slope because Nas was talking about numbers. Or I'm sorry, Jim was talking about numbers. And then now everybody's talking about, will he win in a battle or in a versus? Like, what are we talking? I'm talking about holistically, bro. Like, don't shit on Jim Jones.
I don't.
I can't.
I didn't never shit
I
on
won't.
Jim Jones ever. I didn't never.
But in that same sense, Jim Jones is not even in top 20.
So here's
you.
what I do like about Jim. And let me be honest with y'all. This is where I side with Jim on because I love this side of an artist and I love this side of a guy that still competes and still pushes his pen. Jim's pen game has accelerated over the last 5 to 6 years. When Jim first came out, it was like, yeah. As you said, he wasn't the best member of Dipset. I could agree with you on it. But he's been the only guy the last 10 plus years, or at least the last 10 years, that have carried that Dipset banner and put out consistent good music. When you put on a Jim Jones album, it's a good experience musically. You're going to get dope records. You're going to get introspectful joints. You're going to get fire records. Right? Wrong? No? Y'all don't agree with me on that?
I haven't
Like,
put on a
entire-
Jim Jones record in a
entire-
long time.
Yeah.
Yo, from El Chapo, from Jim Jones' El Chapo album
That
to
was-
this last
that
album,
was a fire.
Jim's been on a run. And to me, to go out there and say, I am. Anybody, he said it, I heard Jim say, anybody in my era, I'll put a stack on it. You can't fuck with me. I'm better than you.
Lloyd Banks destroying Jim
Okay.
in a day.
All right, cool.
All day.
I want to
Every
see
way,
it.
shape, and form.
And guess what? If Jim's not saying that, then Jim needs to go retire.
You're not
I
wrong.
mean,
you are not wrong.
Exactly.
In that-
So that Jim has that energy that I love because Jim's so confident in his capability. He'll take on Nas.
But
He'll take
but why-
on Jay.
but why?
He'll
That's-
take on
That's like
Cam. He'll
Ja
take
Rule,
anybody.
bro. That's like Ja Rule has that same energy, and Ja Rule sucks.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Ja Rule sucks.
I
That's
mean, he
crazy.
didn't, back in the day. No, Ja Rule had good music, but I'm just saying like now,
When
like
did he suck?
for Ja Rule for Ja Rule to be like, oh yeah, bro, Ja Rule is no good now. I'm not talking about right now. I mean, I'm not talking about back in the day. No, Ja Rule had real good music. I used to listen to Ja Rule till 50 came, and then I didn't listen to Ja Rule no more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, it wasn't no side to switch to. It wasn't no side to be on before Fit. You know what I'm saying?
I still listen to Ja when he's beefing with 50.
Oh, I put Ja Rule on now, but when I was 17, I wasn't putting him on.
If you're an MC making music right now, or a rapper
no,
making
50
music
came out.
right
I wasn't.
now,
I was.
and you feel that someone's better than you, then you just need to stop. Shout out to my brother JT. We used to have this debate. Styles P said on a record, he said, Big is the only rapper I don't think that I'm better than. And he had a problem with that. And I said, I don't have a problem with it because every other rapper besides Big, rest in peace, he's going to shit on. Because he believes in himself. He believes that he is the best.
Styles P a better rapper than Jim Jones.
I agree.
Right.
But to me, there's a point.
If
you're quote unquote active, if you're, let's just say a JID, and you're like, fuck everybody, fuck 21, fuck anybody new in the game. Yeah. But you're talking about Nas, who's a legendary status. You can't. Like, you can't shit on Nas.
Right.
You can't shit on Nas.
I don't think he's shitting on him. Jim just said I'm better than
this,
you.
though?
Like,
why is he doing this? Is there an ulterior motive behind it?
I mean, there could be. There could be.
Is he trying to push a new record? Like, what is he doing right now?
I don't know.
Why come out and have this talk?
Well, it was an interview, right? It was an
right?
interview, and they were interviewing him, and then I think they put him on a spot or whatever, and so he defended himself, but at the same time, it's like that's like me being like, I'm fuck Usain Bolt, I'll beat the shit out of him in a foot race. I never would, I never could. Why would I even say that, bro? We're not even in the same universe. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, for me, I look at it, I guess from my lens, right or wrong, I'm looking at it as Jim being an MC, him being active and saying, yo, I've stepped my pen game up. I've been here. I'm the only one y'all talk about as it relates to Dipset. Where's Cam at? Where's Joel's at? Yo, no one can fuck with me. And if you want to fuck with me, I'll put a stack up because I'm that confident in my capability. I love that about
I'm going to tell you this.
I love that.
I appreciate that because
I salute that.
Really, all artists should be like that.
Right.
Take note on that. Go.
Okay.
Hit hills. There's hills that you die on. Nas ain't that hill.
I agree.
Right.
Nas ain't that hill.
So here's the quote or whatever.
I'm just taking the Nas comments to the side because we all know, we all in agreement. It's like, you're not messing with Nas.
So Jim Jones is claiming that he's more relevant in to the current generation of hip hop fans than Nas.
Okay. That could be a possibility.
That's not true either.
He's working with a lot of new artists now. I would assume that he would be at least in the conversation somewhat of some of the new artists. Like, he's working with Bass Swag. He's working with all these young cats. Why wouldn't he say that?
Yeah, I can see that.
I know you're upset about it, and I get it. You're a Nas fan. I'm a Nas fan. I love Nas. Nas can do no wrong in my book.
Bro, ever.
But I'm just saying, but you guys got to remember, too, that, like, early in Jim's career, like, he had the beef with Nas. Cam had the beef with Nas. Like, they all had beef with Nas when Jay was doing his thing. So, if you think about it, like, Nas came before them, and Dipset was that next generation. So, you got to think about it as a generational thing. Like, hey, maybe Jim feels like, y'all try to shit on me when I was on my come up. And now that I'm up here now, like, let's compete. Shit, I'm 50, you 50. Let's put a stack on it and let's go.
I mean, I'm down to see it. If it
that's hip hop to me, dog. I love it.
If it translates to something, I'm down to see it. I'm down to see what Jim got.
I just love that Jim is out there saying, yo, you can't fuck with me. And if anybody else feels that you can fuck with me on this mic, like, let's go. I love that. That was the only clip that I seen of Jim. I think he was on Bag Fuel, which is Math Hoffa's old squad. They got a podcast, a great podcast, and he was saying something like, yo, who wanted from my era? Like, let's go. So, shouts to Jim. I know he's got the album out. Nas got the Primo album coming out very, very soon. I'm very excited about that. As long as the conversation is going and no one's pulling guns on each other and shooting each other, I'm all for it. Let's do it.
I'm here for the debates. I'm here for the talks.
All it.
It's what
else
keeps
we got,
what keeps the culture going.
The Commission.